When we wrote the paper, we didn't think about this pandemic situation, obviously. But you will see that our presentation connects a lot with the current situation in different aspects. Um, one of the things we want to reflect on is the importance of the distance, the space in these times. The distance in these viral times can become affection, maybe opposed to infection, like a space of decompression, of contagion, whose limits oscillate between caring and curing, and that it's very, let's say, related to the things you will see in the next slides. So the main question of our presentation is how architecture and design should face the important phenomena of our present and the near future. We can see how humans are altering the planet, including long-term global geological processes at an increasing rate. Any formal recognition of an Anthropocene epoch on the geological timescale depends on whether humans have changed the Earth system sufficiently to produce a stratigraphic signature in sediments and ice that is different from that of the Holocene epoch. Proposal to mark the beginning of an Anthropocene include an early Anthropocene that begins with the expansion of agriculture, but we are more interested on the great acceleration of the 50s. This great acceleration of the 50s, as you can see in these graphics, is very clear, and it's not only related to the acceleration of production, of industrial production, or the acceleration of the increasing rate of the human population, but also the acceleration of the extraction of materials, and the acceleration of energy consumption, and on the other hand, the acceleration of the decrease of the biological diversity, the biodiversity. So humanity now, we can think how humanity is losing the ability to control the effects it is having. It's no longer enough to stop negative behavior or have a sustainable relationship with the environment. Following Donna Haraway, to connect this cyborg scenario with the context of the Anthropocene, she suggests that the Cthulhucene replace the Anthropocene as, let's say, the age in which we are living. She wonders, when do changes in degree become changes in species? And what are the effects of the biocultural, biotechnological, biopolitical, and historical situation of people, not man, in relation to the effects of assemblages of other species and other biotic and abiotic forces combined with them?
Archaeologists stated that already in the original manufacture, two suppose and intended purpose converge. The first one is the purpose expected of the tool once finished, and the second one is the expected purpose of the action that the tool should perform. So we have these two questions related with the manufacturing, the action and the performances. The current social and productive conditions that mark contemporary capitalism in the pandemic time are precisely the separation between planning and imagination. This is why we think it is key to overcoming the fragmentation of cognitive work. If we want to make viable a bet for a creative society without exploitation, extraction, or private appropriation of what is socially produced, we live in a world deeply conditioned by design knowledge. This is not a common form of design to present itself, but it does underlie a possibility of creative torsion, even artistic of itself. There is a virtuality in the materials that participate and configure the extended virtualities, those of the potential use, those of the futurities, those of the making desire. So futurity is a figuration that is never fulfilled or completed, and that allows acts to be fulfilled and completed. In this sense, futurity is the possibility just before it emerges. It is the virtuality of that consummation. Futurity is the interval that is born on the encounter between two forces. It is the way in which condition, projects, possibilities exist as a virtuality of events. Futurization and futurability refers to the way in which we link with futurity. The former, futurization, is defined by planning in terms of an act in the future. The latter is understood through transition and journey. Futurability in this sense is a power that does not close its definition. Futurization so far is a category. It is a collective vision for thinking about the act of giving a future, of imagining it, of projecting its destiny in the present, which is more in the field of the visual. Futurability, on the other side, is a certain potentiality that operates in our present but has no image. It is that which emerges of forces and forces us to go to other places that we did not imagine.
This work, all this work, is rooted in several activities, let's say papers, workshops, talks, lectures, and so on. Mostly developed in Buenos Aires. So in the context of these workshops, we have a large production of works, of results, and we choose to use this one, the walking Nambu, that has some kind of play with the walking city of Archigram, but in post-utopian context. This walking Nambu, that is a tree. The Nambu is the tree. It's actually two trees. Take care of the collective memory of the place as a holobiont, as an entity formed by the association of different species that give rise to semio-ecological units. This work connects with futurization, with an act of imagination and a vision of the future. These two trees and different times with the memory of the people that lived in those places, and creates a connection with the roots and the memories in, you can say, some kind of radical thinking, if you refer to radical as related to the roots, as radix.
These design strategies for futurization function as a therapy seeks to cure. And we should remember that the word therapy has an etymology in Greek that is already related with care, the word therapy. The proposal of a design as a care cure opposes that of a design that makes and makes words and open up to the possibility of collective growing xenofuturism as a theoretical construction that makes it possible to elaborate a framework not only for the future of design, but above all for the design of futures.
So as you can see, this is a very theoretical paper, a paper that it's trying to condense a work in progress, several years of a work in progress. And we are trying to introduce these terms to think about the role that design must have in this context. It's not by chance that we are starting with the diagnosis because we think it's not only appropriate or relevant to rethink how design impacts in the world, but it's also urgent. It's a necessity to think about that and to maybe rethink in the sense of design as cure care, or as we are stating, and to think about the possible, the plausible futures, but also think about the necessary futures and the alternative futures. So thank you very much.